So what you can see in this film that, and I think this is animation, you have to use all the possibilities which are existing. So you can, from a white paper, you can draw nice characters, a nice story. And I think this is what animation has to do, to surprise, because you can really inspire yourself on whatever of character. And when people, the audience, is detecting this, also with a good story, then I think it's already a win-win situation. So this is an extremely important thing by selecting as a company our project, what is new in for us. New only on story, new on production design, on also character design. Is this interesting? Is this appealing? Because when you start an animation film, you have to work for 2 years together. And if you're working on a boring film, then after 1 year, people say, I'm just doing this for the money, and we will see. No, you have to motivate the people. With this film, at the end, we had to ask, it was in Belgium and in Canada, we had to ask people to leave. The film was finished. And they still stayed in the animation studio because they asked to the director if there was something to change. And the film was already, boom, done. And this is what we try to do with every film. First, the charisma of the director. If your director has no charisma, then forget it. Secondly, extremely challenging new universe. Also, technically wise, interesting, so that you don't have to redo what you already did. So, technically, in the Triplets of Belleville, it was the first time that on that level we used CGI animation in a classical animated film. So all the guys on their bicycles, all the cars, and all the boat, for instance, all those elements were done in CGI. So we did a supervision of that film on CGI level, and then flattened to 2D. So this was again a kind of challenge. I remember that our animators had to do the one of the images when the 15 cyclists were on the Mont Ventoux in France, and they were it was a top shot, and they were starting to animate, and the result was awful. And then we said, how this is possible? And then suddenly we took some images from the Tour de France, top shot also. We made a split screen, and this was the inspiration for the animator, because when you're cycling, it's a very difficult way of behaving. And finally they were just understanding how the director was willing to get this animation. So there's a kind of competition, there's a kind of feeling we have to do it. We have to do it very good. It's not only cycling, no, it's suffering, cycling, 15 different people, so not cycling all on the same way. So this is a challenge. Also the integration on the outlines of the Triplets of Belleville. I think there were more articles written on the outlines than on the backgrounds, because people were fascinating. It's not a clear outline. And we worked for 3 months for the director how to find that outline, which was an imperfect outline. So this is what is, I think, the resume of why working and why selecting a film. The next one is The Secret of Kells, which is also a project with Les Amateurs in Paris, one of the most famous and well-known producers. Secret of Kells, Tom Moore, also Oscar nominated 3 years later. It's extremely authors-driven, based on what Kells had as tradition. A little bit too sophisticated, maybe for the kids, because when I was in the avant-premiere in Belgium, I was sitting in the last row, and after 15 minutes, I saw all the kids, using their mobiles. So at that moment we saw that this film was too complicated, too high level in design for kids. And I will show you an excerpt and you will maybe
I've lived too many ages. I have seen suffering in the darkness. Yet, I have seen beauty thrive in the most fragile of places. I have seen the book that turned darkness into light.
So it's about a young boy trying to complete the book of Kells with the help of a monk. So that's the story, and of course there's a love story in it. I will not show you the entire film because there's much more other stuff left. But you can understand when you see this, it's too complicated for kids. So they were, or we were all underestimating the degree of sophistication. So it's nice to have a story for kids, and the film was not working at all. Neither in France, neither in Ireland, neither in Belgium. It was not a flop because it received a lot of prizes, but it was not a hit commercially wise. So the reason why the French producer is not producing a second film is because he's again taking over the same style. So this is also very, very important for a producer and also for the animation business. Okay, what Vincent was saying this morning, what is the audience? So you have to be clear on what the audience is and what they are used to look at. The kids today, they are looking much more to easy Angry Bird stuff and this kind of thing. So they are not interested in the history of Kells. And it was a beautiful project, but okay. This is a little bit more, let's say, kids' story. And it's a good example to prove that things can be done on another way. Television series, well known, and then they were making a feature-length film, even in stereoscopy. It's a very sex-oriented story. Who knows T-Tough? Everybody? Okay, yesterday I was with a lot of Swiss people, and there was only one who knew it, because Zepp is from Switzerland, so strange. T-Tough was still a film. We were, again, every time when I'm saying we, it's we with all the producers. No pretension on that side. We were, it was the last film we were doing on classical animation, hand-drawn, so on a big paper, big studio with the classical work. The film did very well in France. I don't know, 1.6, 1.7. It was a little bit, it was a pleasure, it was a big pleasure, but a little bit a nightmare because the director was the author of the personage. So when we were sending the material to France, he was based in France, every time he was not looking to the animation, but he was looking to this all the time. And then we received feedbacks, retakes. We said, the animation is okay, but there was a small problem somewhere here. And then at the end we said, sorry, we cannot continue like that. And then we used kind of technique to find a solution for this kind of remarks, that there was a guy, separate guy, only controlling the model. In the language they say, keep your model, never lose a model. That's not the problem with a CGI movie, but for a 2D film it's a very difficult one. Interesting in this film, and you will see it, it's a very natural language. They talk about pipi, caca, sex, love, friendship, about everything. This film and also the series is used also in an educational package in France and in Belgium for young kids, and to say what is your first love.
Classe! Vous n'entendez pas que ça a sonné?
Dégueulasse.
Va lui faire rouiller son appareil dentaire.
Lui, c'est Manu, mon meilleur copain.
Écoutez ça.
Lui, c'est Hugo, mon deuxième meilleur copain. Le truc qui éjecte dans la bave, c'est Jean-Claude.
Casse-toi. Tu veux ma photo?
Les filles, elles sont toutes nulles, sauf Nadia. Nadia, elle est tellement belle que c'est elle que je veux me marier avec plus tard.
Tu vas me lâcher le slip, oui?
Bon, le problème, c'est que c'est quand même une fille.
Ça
avance avec Nadia. Je vais lui envoyer une lettre. Je vais venir t'enlever sur mon vaisseau intersidéral. Mais tu l'as pas ici. Oh, t'es vraiment nul de zizi sexuel, toi. Papa, il est très fort. Ma maman, je l'adore.
Au lit.
Sauf quand elle dit ça.
On peut lui laisser finir sa partie quand même.
Évidemment, dès qu'il faut un peu d'autorité, c'est pas sur toi qu'il faut compter.
Et clac, elle a refermé la porte et elle est partie.
Les filles, ça c'est pas.
Elle va revenir. On doit faire le point. Tu comprends?
You have to see the film, but the dialogues are really extremely, let's say, skeptical about the French dialogues because they talk a lot. But in this film, the dialogues are quite nice and really nice. For instance, there's one sequence when his father is presenting his new love, his new girlfriend in the apartment in Paris. And Titeuf is saying where the girl is still there. He's saying to his father, what a kind of bitch you are bringing in our home now, huh? Like this, young boy. And then that bitch, that wife, is giving the man a big, how you say it? Slap. And then she left and the relationship is over. So it's really contemporary. Pinocchio, next one, was the first paperless animated movie. We said, okay, we had Titeuf and Triplettes of Belleville, hand-draw animation. Let's start with a paperless animated film. A lot of the co-producers from Italy and also from Luxembourg, they were extremely scared because they said, no, that's not possible. And also the director, Enzo Dallo. And we said, okay, let's try it. Who knows a Syntec tablet? Yeah, it's a big tablet like this, linked with a computer, and you can draw on that screen. You can move it like you want. And so we did a test without saying to Enzo Dallo on a Syntec tablet and one on a paper. We went to Tuscany where he had his studio, and we showed in a digital cinema the two tests. Just to say or to see if, because he was extremely scared about digital, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, okay, I prefer this hand-drawn animation. And that hand-drawn animation was done on a Syntec tablet. And at that moment, we convinced him, in collaboration with Toon Boom from Canada, and all the other studios, except Luxembourg, they were buying those Syntec tablets. And from that moment on, today, all other films are done with Syntec tablets. 30% you can you have as a profit on production. The settings are from Lorenzo Mattotti.
I heard a child's voice say, "Ow!" It spoke. The log spoke. A child. We'll so enjoy life together. We'll travel the world, and I'll call you Pinocchio!
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 Pinocchio, I'm J. Phineas Cricket. I've been living here for over 100 years.
School is where one's taught what's true. You'll learn reading, writing, arithmetic. You'll do your homework or you'll feel the stick. Do I make myself clear?
So, I'm gonna have to move. This was co-production between Italy, Luxembourg, Belgium, and what else? That's it, I think. It's all the budgets, all the film I was indicating, the animation films are between 6 to 7 to 8 million euros. Triplettes was 8 million euros, was 2 million euro over budget. So I don't know how the producer was recovering 2 million. So the average classical feature-length animation is between 5, 6 or 7, 8 million euros, depending on what you want to achieve. And of course, internationally, like Vincent was saying, co-productions. In Pinocchio, I think there were 28 different sources of financing. In Italy, there were, I think, 11. Ministro de Cultura, a region in Toscane, Roma, whatever you want. Everywhere there was an institution. And this is a nightmare for production. Let's be clear about that. Monster in Paris. This is the first CGI movie we were working on this level. Bibo Bergeron, again, selective, saying, is this something for us? Yes or no, because this is CGI. So an investment of machinery, render form, and all the rest. And then we had a meeting with Bibou Bergeron, and as he was working for many years in the United States, and his script was quite nice, humoristic, we said, okay, let's do it. All the animation was done in Paris, and we took over from the moment the animation was approved by the director. In co-production
Ladies
with
and
Europa
gentlemen,
Corp.
come and see Paris from above!
EuropaCorp proudly presents Raoul, a smooth delivery guy.
Well, hello, Madame Omelette. Hope you're not feeling too scrambled today and you're feeling nice and over easy.
Emile, the Casanova.
It's showtime!
Lucille, the singer.
You're not just a singer, you're a star.
I'm a star. I'm a princess. What a repartee.
Charles, one smart monkey.
Charles, you have a lovely singing voice.
You didn't see something strange in there, did you?
You mean besides a singing monkey, a 50-foot sunflower, and vials of potions that almost killed us? No.
And introducing Francaire,
There's a monster in Paris!
a giant singing flea
Sharp.
who's larger than life and ready for an adventure.
We came to see your so-called show. He's got your eyes and my hairy legs.
It's a monster.
Ouch! Hey!
He's not a monster.
Where is he? Who? The monster!
I don't want to go to jail. Arrest the monkey.
Is she divine?
Look, sweetheart, I didn't come to argue with you. I came to save you.
Save me.
Let's go.
So this was Vanessa Paradis and M. Also a very good thing in the feature-length film, and I think the American people that were understanding it try to, if you want to have a success, if not, you don't do it, but try to have some other elements in your film to promote. Because in animation film, there's no actor in Cannes. I remember with Triplettes of Belleville, we were there, the red carpet, the car was coming on, and then Sylvain Chomet with the key animators were climbing up the staircase, and there was no photograph. They were only saying like this, and suddenly the press attaché said to the photographers, "This is the director of that movie." And then suddenly they started to take pictures. Because in animation film, I don't know, I'm always asking it to my students, who knows more than 5 names of animation directors? We maybe, but the general public, they don't know. They say new Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, a Lego film, but when there's a Spielberg film, everybody knows it. And this is the really disadvantage for the feature-length film. So you have to introduce some sexy elements. This was Vanessa Paradis and also M, very famous singers in not only France, also abroad. And this worked. Who was invited for the Journal Télévision, television programs or conferences, was Vanessa, M, and also a little bit the director. But if you don't have this is not interesting for the press. They're looking for an argument to see something. It could be the voice only. Like Jean Rochefort, for instance, for the last film, was in the film. So you need something up front to program that the film is more successful. American people, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Day of the Crows, again, a feature-length film. It's on the script-wise, on the script level, I think it's a very, very nice script. It did 400,000 entries in France. It is an original story, directed by Dessin, Jean-Christophe. I just show you a small part. Again, this was digitally animated, drawn. It's for kids and young adults.
Il faut que le corps s'engraisse si tu ne veux pas que l'outre au monde t'emporte. Pas vrai?
And it's about the story of a young boy living with his father.
Est-ce qu'il
becoming a
s'intéresse
monster
aux mangeurs?
in a wood forest.
Non!
Father is falling down.
Non!
He's falling.
Jamais!
And then he has to go to the city, small
On aurait
city,
dit
and then
des-
he's discovering
Comme père et moi,
the real life.
Et qui
And he's falling
marchait
in love
en
with the
dehors de la
daughter
forêt.
of a doctor.
comme ça.
So
Tu te rends compte?
a A very good producer, French one. The last one, classical animation, The Congress, Ari Folman, I think Walter Bashir, everybody knows. After the Waltz with Bashir, Ari Folman wanted to make a real film. Waltz with Bashir was 1.8 or something like that. And then he wanted to make a real film. So The Congress is a real film. It is not going very well. It was even a flop in France and Israel. So again, this is not a depressive conversation or lecture, but just to be aware that we all have to know what about. The Congress was for us a very nice experience. We were not on that film, but at a certain moment, Ari Folman was not okay with the quality of animation receiving from Luxembourg, from Poland, from Germany. And then he came to Brussels and he saw us and he said, shit, shit, shit. Say, why you say shit? Why I'm meeting you only now? I said, maybe we can help you. Let's see together. And then we took over almost all the animations in Brussels, and we were sending at the end for 9 months all our animators with the Syntec tablets to Tel Aviv. They had a wonderful life. I was never in Tel Aviv, but it's a beautiful city. And so they finished the film. And he's always saying in every theater or every presentation that Walking the Dog was saving his film. The good result with this, that he asked us to make as a main studio and co-producer also his new film is about Anna Frank. It's quite new. So we will animate and also co-produce this new film. This is a hybrid film, mixed live action and animation.
You had it all, Robin.
Robin Wright.
A movie queen at 24. All the big studios came crawling. And you slammed all the open doors, crushed all the dreams. Aaron needs me at home. But Aaron is just an excuse.
And now what? What are they offering?
We want to scan you, all of you, your body, your face, your emotions, your laughter, your tears. We want to sample you, preserve you, and we want to own this thing called Robin Wright.
Once they sample you and you're in their computer, there's no way back. The studio owns the character.
What character?
The one that used to be the actor.
I want to make you young forever.
Wake up, Robin! This is your gate to freedom!
Now smile.
Can I go back to where I came from?
There is no such thing as the place that you came from.
Wow, you look fantastic. Animated, I mean.
You're the sixth one today.
The sixth what?
The sixth Robin Wright.
How do I know if I'm dreaming?
Look at us!
Aaron?
To find Aaron, we have to go on a very long journey. You just make a choice and you feel whatever you want. What do you choose?
It was a really marvelous film to work on. He's a very nice director. I love him a lot. And also the quality of animation was extremely high. The inspiration was, in the beginning, he was just doing his artwork like Waltz with Bashir. And then it changed, and his inspiration of his team from Tel Aviv came from Irenus Bosch, a famous Dutch painter. And when you see the film, you can recognize big parts of this painters. The way we were working on this film was extremely, also again, different. So he was shooting his film in the United States with Robin Wright and all the other actors. And aside, or in parallel with the shooting, he was also shooting the dialogues, mainly the close-up or medium shots in the studio. So they were sitting on a fake table. They were filming this dialogue like it would become in the film, like with the editing in it. And then we received those shots. We had not to rotoscopy it, but it was a sort of inspiration for the animator or the animators. So this is also a very interesting way of working. I was talking about the Triplettes of Belleville, about the Mont Ventoux, the Tour de France. It's the same thing. You have not to be ashamed to inspire yourself on something what is maybe better in live action first, and then to not to copy it, but to inspire yourself. And so we started up all the film. Short films, I will not show you the clips because it will take us too long. Just to say what is interesting on autos, it was a young boy saying, when I'm going to opera, I don't understand the word of what they are singing. I have the libretto, but I don't understand. So maybe I can make a film about a troubadour falling in love with the daughter of a castle owner. And the troubadour is singing in the beginning, I love you, it's so beautiful. But at a certain moment, the text, the subtitles, they become a personage, a character. And they are not translating anymore what he is singing, but they are saying, you are a bastard, you are a loser, shut up. And in the film, it's a third personage, in fact. Vous voti. I thought it was just an inspiration. And I asked to a balloon electrician in our office to check if it's true that the translation is Je vous aime. So it's a Walloon way of saying Je vous aime, I love you. Voilà. Back. This is another film from a young director. It's about a zoo who is not working anymore, and the director of the zoo is doing something very strange with a gorilla. What you will not see in the trailer, but the biggest compliment in this film is that people from a festival, they asked us, or they said to us, it was, I think, difficult to train the gorilla, but everything what you see, except the man giving an apple, everything what you see in the film is computer graphics. This is a film we finished not long ago. It was normally foreseen as a documentary film about a homosexual hooligan from a big club in Amsterdam. And we wanted to start shooting, and then at a certain moment the hooligan said, no, it's too difficult for me to out myself. And then we changed completely the film, and it became an animated movie about that homosexual hooligan.
De wedstrijd tegen de aartsrivaal, ja, daar ben je al een beetje zenuwachtig voor. Dat zijn de wedstrijden van het jaar. Ja, dan gaat er wat bier in en die fokt elkaar ook op.
And so on. You see the style of the film. But the film is a very nice success on festivals. It's working very well and well received also in the Netherlands. Then Picnic with Pie, co-production with Spain, Toma Vistas. Maybe we'll see Pierre and Mercedes this afternoon. Very nice co-production with your Catalan channel, TVC, and other fundings, the Netherlands and Belgium, based on an Indo-Chinese guy, 85 years old. Very successful book. He has other books, no texts, only one book. And then we were reducing 13 stories of 5 minutes. And you see everything is in CGI. So all the animations, the characters are done in computer graphics, animated and then flattened down. It's about a big family in a village going on the top of the hill. And they, in every episode they see that the cakes are not there anymore.
De hoffelijke ratten boden een helpende staart.
So every time everybody's saying, it's not me, it's not me, it's the other guy. So 13 episodes, a very nice collaboration, like I said, with Thomas Vistas. They did a lot of the scripts, also the animatics and other parts of the co-production. The total budget of this was 1.3 for 13 episodes, and it worked internationally quite well. Kik and Bob, I'm not going to show you the second series, co-production between France and Belgium. I don't know, it's sold in Spain. And then I go over Richard the Stork. It's maybe the first time that we are. Is that Mercedes? Hey, Mercedes. The first time. I was not saying this because you were there. I'm just the first time we are doing a film where my colleague partner said, "Eric, have we to do this film?" And I said, "Yeah, but maybe mainstream, maybe sometime money is coming in." And I show you the trailer. This film is now entirely financed, only tax shelter in Belgium. This film is the sales agent is global screen, and the film is not done yet, but the film is was already recouping his minimum guarantee. So what is quite strange. This you know from Manuel, Another Day of Life. It's a real pleasure. It's with Spain, Poland, Belgium, and Germany. Then Jack et la mécanique du cœur, Jack and the CUCKOO-CLOCK is to finish my presentation. This film was started up in France within a company called Durand Dubois, and that company went bankrupt. There were 160 people working on that film. We were on another movie, and then we received a phone call from EuropaCorp, the same co-producers on Monster in Paris, and they said, "Okay, help us." They presented the project again in a cartoon movie. Help us not only by money, but also by talents. And then we said, okay, to restart a movie, it's extremely difficult, but let's analyze it. We received a server of 53 terabytes, 53. Normally a finished film is 6 terabytes, 53. So I don't know what they were putting on this server. Too much information. And then we had to quote, because we had to quote what the work would be in Belgium. Based on that, and also on Shotgun, which is a data asset management system, we took 2 months and a half to analyze this, to not be wrong, because it's a very dangerous part of this kind of project is to miscalculate the work. Some mood boards. I saw this morning already some animatic tests and all the rest. These are some mood boards. And later on, you can see if we were a little bit respecting those mood boards done by a guy who's quite talented. The story is between Edinburgh and Andalusia. It's still Edinburgh. This is Andalusia. This is Paris. Andalusia. And the last one, I saw you the trailer. Why not?
Mon cœur. On me l'a confectionné le jour de ma naissance. On dit que je suis né le jour le plus froid du monde et que mon cœur a gelé. C'est un peu bricolé, mais ça marche.
Allez, Christophe Colomb. Prêt pour la découverte?
Je m'habille, on y va.
Il y a 3 règles que tu ne devras jamais oublier.
Ne pas toucher à mes aiguilles, je
Oui,
sais.
mais aussi
Maîtriser ta colère. Je sais, mon cœur ressemble à un jouet, mais on ne doit pas jouer avec.
Et la 3e, tu ne devras jamais tomber amoureux.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bruit là-bas?
Tu ne seras pas en train de nous couver quelque chose, toi.
Tu sais bien que c'est interdit.
Interdit.
Jack! Qu'est-ce que tu lui as fait?
Tu ne connais pas une chanteuse minuscule qui se cogne partout?
Elle s'appelle Miss Acacia. Et personne n'a le droit de parler d'elle, sauf moi. Tu n'es tout de même pas tombé amoureux d'elle, toi aussi.
Un peu. Vous savez, monsieur Méliès, j'ai rencontré une petite chanteuse.
Ce sont des choses qui arrivent.
Oui, mais quand je l'ai vue, j'ai eu très peur que mon cœur s'arrête.
Tu as envie de vivre la grande aventure avec cette fille?
Je crois qu'elle est à Grenade.
Jamais je n'ai autant ri que pendant cette fabuleuse chevauchée. Moi qui vis avec une horloge dans le cœur.
Et qu'est-ce que c'est?
Bouquet de lunettes.
Ce ne sont pas mes fleurs préférées.
Il était une fille tout en talons aiguilles et cœur de cactus. Il était un homme horloge qui se déréglait par amour comme toujours.
Je m'attendais à affronter un adversaire plus coriace. Tu ne la mérites vraiment pas.
Résisteront-ils au bonheur? Résisteront-ils au bonheur de retrouver Miss Acacia?
The film is based on. Hola, stop. Yeah. The film is based on a book with the same name, Mécanique du Cœur. The group, the pop group Dionysus, is a famous French group. The actor in the film is the songwriter of the Dionysus, so the Jack. And the girl was his ex-partner. So it's really autobiographic. So he fell in love with this girl. And she has also names, he's on the credits. And then 3 years ago they separated when he was writing his book. And so he said, okay, I changed a little bit my book, but it's maybe the best case for continuing writing my book. And his heart was broken. And then he said, okay, maybe the solution is that somebody tells to me that I can never fall in love. And that's the story about this film. So there are 3 rules that Jack can never broke. Thanks. And one is never fall in love. And of course, he's falling in love with that young girl, and everything is happening, is going wrong, in fact. So it's not just a stupid story, it's a story about 2 real people, a real book, and then the art design was done by Nicoletta Ceccioli, or something like this, a very talented Italian designer. And she was already creating this kind of designs of puppets, with the porcelain texture, and also with beautiful shapes, like the jumeaux, the 2 girls, or the monsters in the film. And this was the trigger to decide that the film has to be done. In the beginning, they were a little bit hesitating. For us, the difficult things in this film was not only finding the money, because there's a lot of money due to the bankrupt of the company in France, EuropaCorp. They didn't have any euro in their pocket, a little bit. And then we find tax shelter money in Belgium and also a new economic fund to help them. We did everything in the film from the beginning until the end except modeling, script. Sometimes the script could be better. What else? Sound recording, mixage, and this kind of stuff. But we started in September 2012 and the deadline was October 2013. When you see the complexity of this film, I think I'm quite gray due or thanks to that film. It was really very difficult. It was a pleasure, but it was extremely difficult. Normally you take 1.5 years for this kind of films. 150 people were working on the film, from Spain, from Italy, from Canada, from Belgium, from Bulgaria, from everywhere. And we had to rent 22 apartments in Brussels to those people, and I think IKEA was doing a very had a big revenue. This is a small part, and you can see, but on a general way, what we did, but.
Je comprends que Jack me déteste. Pendant des années, j'ai été la cause de tous ses malheurs. Humiliation, persécution,
No, I think the other one, I think.
toutes les douleurs.
Ah no, just a moment.
Je comprends que...
Je crois que nous y sommes. Qu'est-ce que t'en penses?
Bah, ça change d'Édimbourg.
J'ai la tête qui tourne, moi.
Extraordinaire.
Venez voir un homme qui pondait des œufs, deux monstres amoureux, trois opéras de fantômes en sanglots. Au cirque bizarro, un homme se fait transformer en oiseau. Auguste traîne les squelettes jusqu'à la pérille des eaux.
So in this film, everything had to be done. So not only the animation. So with a team of
Je comprends que Jack...
a team of 35 animators, a lot of young people. The average age of the animators was between 25 and 30 years old, which is a good sign. So they're new upcoming people. The animation director was a girl, Marie-Laure Guisset. So also a good thing, because it's more CGI, a male business. So I think it was an extremely nice team. Just in time, in June 2013, they ended their job, so we took over the rest. So we did, after the layout, the animation. When that was locked, we started with the lighting, with Modo, a new engine of, I think, America. So lighting, putting all the lights on it. Then we were also making 750 backgrounds, matte paintings. So the backgrounds of whatever you see in the film. We were doing all the special effects. It was the worst department I ever had. So I will never work again with the supervisor. He was really terrible. But okay, nevertheless, we succeeded in having this. So that was a bad recruitment. We did all the compositing, and I'm certainly forgetting other departments like clothes, animations, and etc. etc. With also young talented people from a game school for the research and development. So we are trying to economize and to make possible this kind of films to also to take young, to have a good combination between senior, middle and juniors. So this is the only way to do this kind of films. I will show you another excerpt, not this one, to end.
Ladies and gentlemen, et surtout, mesdemoiselles, ce soir, devant vous, le plus grand numéro de sorcellerie rose du monde, que dis-je du monde, de la galaxie. Voyez-vous, depuis des années, je cherche à coudre les rêves et la réalité en un seul et même tissu de mensonges excitants. J'ai commencé par tweeter des photographies, mais il me manquait le plus important, le mouvement. L'art cinématographique est chamanique. On peut redresser les ombres, les convoquer, tout devient possible. Bientôt, on pourra faire revenir les morts avec cet outil. C'est le meilleur remède antimélancolique disponible en ce bas monde. Ladies, ladies, ladies and ladies. Vous allez voir le tout premier film tourné en cinématographe et il ne pouvait être question que de la plus grande histoire d'amour de tous les temps. Aussi, je dois rendre grâce à l'homme qui a déclenché en moi l'ultime déclic pour faire fonctionner l'appareil à faire bouger les images. Je vous présente à ma gauche, Jack, l'homme horloge. 50 kilos d'os sertis d'engrenage croustillant, recouvert par une fine couche d'épiderme sucré de taches de rousseur, plus succulentes les unes que les autres. Et il y a un cœur, mesdames et mesdames, gros comme une horloge. Et c'est d'ailleurs en essayant de la réparer, en trafiquant ses engrenages, que j'ai enfin compris comment terminer mon invention. Et maintenant, bon film.
So that's a little bit about what kind of projects are done. About financing, I think we already heard the word tax shelter. It's an interesting system, and I think it's thanks to that system that we can initiate co-produce production. I will not explain the system, but it's a nice one. And then we have also a new economic fund, Screen Flanders, helping to co-produce every feature-length film, animation, documentary, or fiction. And so I think thanks to those elements, animation is possible in Belgium. And for the rest, if there are any questions, I would like to answer them. Is there any question? The micro is coming.
Yes, I see you follow all the process, creative process, production process, la fabricación, tout ça. You follow also the reaction of the public, for example, with the Monster in Paris. How was work? Because don't go out of France, maybe, I don't know, just francophonie. And the Congress. What happened with Monster in Paris, with the public, with the Congress?
Yeah, the Monster in Paris was doing very well. It was 1.7 in France. It was 200 in Belgium. It was going very well in the United States, in the United Kingdom. They still are looking for a distributor in America. So this is, let's say, a nice story. With the Congress, I was already saying it was not a big hit. So the film is, I don't know who saw the film, but the film is not an easy one. So this film was not really successful. It is successful as a reference, but it's a quite expensive reference for the public. But in general, let's say a film like Ernest et Célestine or Zarafa or other films, when it's going very well, it's doing 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 in France, and then you have to see what is the rest of the world.
La mécanique du corps, comment ça marche?
Mécanique du corps is doing quite well. It is, they found a distributor in the United States, for North of America, and for the moment, I think they're on week 4. I think it's 700 or 750. So normally it still is in the theaters. In Belgium, it was doing also quite well. But again, and this is what I was saying in the beginning of my small explanation or my introduction, that it is extremely difficult to foresee what will be the film, the successful film. So, or extremely mainstream, like Richard the Stork, maybe. Like, let's say Tadeo was also a mainstream film, nice story and very good humor. Or is it more artistic-driven projects, which are the more interesting for us, I think, for a lot of producers. But at a certain moment, you have to make a conclusion. Because we are all using European money, funding, and all the rest, but we still have, not only we, also the fiction and documentary, we have a kind of responsibility. So if it's just to make film for pleasure, I don't know if this is so good. So that's why we are even more selective for the moment when we are starting up a film or co-producing a film.
Nobody have a question? I make another. Okay. You work with a lot of people from Spain in the Congress, on Jordi Cornell, and other features. You know, there are many people in Spain who can give a quality and speed work. Also Titov.
Yeah.
Do you think there are one more formal way, maybe, to work with some studios in Madrid, Barcelona, I don't know, for make a real flow of production, maybe all the backgrounds of one film, or 20, 30 minutes of animation? I don't know how you see that.
No, like collaboration with Toma Visas was already a very intensive one. Like we are working together with Spain again for Another Day of Life. So this is a real co-production with real work to do in Spain, and we are open. I think at the end of April we will coming back, Belgian delegation, to meet on 22 or 23 of April the television stations in Madrid, and then we come to Barcelona just to show again what could be the possible collaboration and to discuss about this, because this is not I know everybody who was here this morning, like Vincent and Manuel, but that's because many years we already in business. So I think I'm quite positive. But the only thing is that if you want to co-produce, and the Netherlands, they have the same problem, there's a kind of economy cut down of budgets. So for the moment it's France, Luxembourg, Belgium, and then some other countries, and that's a real pity. That's very let's say not so nice to know, because we prefer that all the countries were more able to finance the stuff, and we receive too much projects for that reason. And we want to be selective. In Belgium we have 3 very good studios, but they are overloaded, overcrowded, so there's a kind of limit, you know, we cannot accept it, all of it. Okay, no questions, good. Thanks, Spain.
Bien, pues muchas gracias. Aquí terminamos esta jornada de producción animación. La parte de animación en MECAL también se acaba hoy. Nos quedan 2 fines de semana. La semana que viene el documental será digamos el género, para llamarlo de una manera, al honor. Y después también tenemos bastantes actividades dentro de 2 semanas, con el pase, por ejemplo, de los cortometrajes de Jacques Demy, unos cortometrajes nominados al BAFTA, la clausura con la batalla de programadores. O sea que estamos a mitad de festival, queda mucho, y muchas gracias por acudir a esta sesión.